this is related to, again, devices. We are all talking about 3G and LTE, 4G. I don't know how many Gs will happen in the future, but the majority of the phones that are selling are still the 1,000 to 2,000 rupee phones. And that is where probably when we are talking about a lot of these services which are built around the smartphones, you are effectively leaving out 90% or plus of the population which is mobile based, who can consume these services. So how do we then bridge this gap?
Okay, let me answer that question. So we just discussed that user experience is, of course, very important, in making a purchase decision on an alternate channel. And if that user is actually on a mobile phone, and if we can give him a compelling user experience, in terms of the look and feel, or maybe a 3D view, as he was just mentioning, that you take a snap of a shoe and it starts, you can start seeing it in 3D and all that. Of course, I mean, it makes for a very compelling user experience, and therefore chances of that transaction culminating into a payment, is going to be higher. And obviously, you need smartphones for that. You need, possibly a wireless broadband service connected to the third, phone and all that. But it's not necessary. It's not a necessary condition, because not all purchase decisions, or not all goods and services that you buy on a mobile phone, need to be of that type, where the user experience becomes very important. So, for example, if somebody were to buy grocery, I'm just giving an extreme example. He knows that if I'm buying, some dal or some sugar from a certain store, whether that be online store or a physical store, it's pretty much the same good that I'm going to get. So he doesn't really require that, and that kind of a transaction can easily be completed over maybe an SMS or a voice call, or all that. So just to share a little bit of statistic here, that I would say that 80% of the phones which are now selling in the country today, are actually of the type that can at least work on a GPRS network or an edge network, if not a 3G network. And these are all Java-enabled phones. And going forward, we expect to see the telecom operators are actually expecting to see a higher percentage of customers starting to use the data services, whether 3G or otherwise.
Sure.
So the ability of these customers to get that experience is going to only increase with time.
Yeah. Also, Reserve Bank of India has taken a very good step to answer your question. They've understood very nicely that we need the security on a transaction needs to be proportional to the risk. So up to 1,000 rupees transaction, they're allowed to do it on open SMS, okay, which is, I think, a great move. But you don't need a high-end phone. So together, as the industry evolves and as people get more aware of what the realities are, I think it will just take its natural course of progression.
Sounds good. One last comment from all of you. Multi-channel India 2020, what's your vision?
Well, I think it's going to be a variety of models. You'll have, let's say, internet ordering, physical delivery, cash on delivery. You'll have credit card-based payments, the classical e-commerce. You'll have brick-and-mortar stores continuing to exist and expand, which will also be there. Plus, I think by then you'll have a lot more newer models, which will also evolve because technology is also growing much faster. Traditional mail-based models, let's say the classical mail order catalogs, direct marketing, to my mind, I think over time will slowly die, because I don't think that's going to really survive. The costs and the pressures and the reach that the others will certainly be putting on them.